Welcome to our Did You Know Junior Team Tennis 101 webinar. Some of you are coaches, parents, volunteers. We're going to show you the ways of how to get involved with team tennis throughout the year. My name is Trey Asbury. I'm the JTT manager at UST NorCal. I've been the manager for about 3.5 years. I love the program. It introduces kids into match play. We are going to cover a lot over these next 30 to 45 minutes. So you can submit your questions in the Q&A section, and Beth will help me moderate. And we are going to be recording this, and I'll share the slides afterwards. All right. So what is JTT? So Junior Team Tennis is a team tournament every week. I like to describe it to people as adult league for kids because there's a captain in charge of a team and you're playing a new team every week. All players must know how to serve, rally, and keep score. That's the prerequisite of doing JTT. And JTT prepares players for competitive play, which includes tournaments and high school tennis. Another benefit is that players develop team camaraderie, they support each other, they become friends in the process. And it also brings communities and local programs together. For example, we have one program in our East Bay area. They came out to see a junior circuit team event. They were hooked. They ended up signing up their own team. That team became 4 teams over the course of the year, and they recruited other teams in the area to play against. And now the East Bay Tri-Valley is one of our biggest travel league areas. So a little bit of about the junior competition pathway. So we have our HITS, which is our after school program. Once players do HITS, lessons, clinics, and they feel comfortable with serving, rallying, and keeping score, then they can sign up for a team challenge, which is a 1-to-2 event. It's not super competitive. It's more focused on fun and development. Then when your player is ready to serve, rally, keep score, and be more competitive, they can join a junior team tennis team. And then we have junior circuits above junior team tennis, which are half-day events, and players will be put into flights and they'll be playing singles. Or we also have a dominant duo junior circuit, which is a lot of fun, where you partner up with somebody and you play singles and doubles. And then once your player is 11 or they've reached yellow ball status, then they can sign up for a junior tournament. And L7 is the entry level junior tournament, and it's a 1-day event, round robin format. And then as you get more competitive, the numbers decrease. So basically, L3 is the most competitive tournament that we run in our section. And then you have high performance camps and national run tournaments as well. So we have a lot of 10 and under players that participate in junior team tennis, and they have to go through something called the Net Generation PlayTracker program. So when they're 5 years old, they automatically enter it. And when they're 11, they age out and they're automatically eligible to play yellow ball. So when you are 5 to 7 years old, it's recommended to play red ball. When you're 7 to 9, orange, and 9 to 11, green ball. If you are 7 or 8 years old, you need 1,000 orange ball points, which you can get by doing a team challenge, JTT, or junior circuit, or a coach can also do an early evaluation or assessment through the Net Generation app to bring that player to the green ball level. When you're 9 or 10 years old, you need 1,500 PlayTracker points. 1,000 must come from win points to reach the yellow ball level. A common question that we get is, hey, my player is 10 years old. I can sign him up for a 12 and under yellow ball team, correct? No. They need to earn enough Net Generation PlayTracker points, and there's no exception. There's no early advancement for 10-year-olds. And if you look at the chart below, you'll see that red court's basically played on half a court. Orange is going to be played on taped or blended lines. Orange, green, and yellow are full courts. And then for orange ball, you're going to be using a 25-inch racket, not a full-size racket. Okay, our first program that we offer is our travel league, and we offer it during the spring and fall season. These are 8-week long seasons. We have playoffs, and then the winning team or teams advance to our sectionals. So the areas that participate in our travel league are the East Bay Tri-Valley. We have Marin, Napa, and Sonoma, which is a brand new league. Sacramento, South Bay Peninsula, Santa Cruz, Monterey, and every area will have its unique date and time. I would check the JTT website to see when all the areas play their matches. For example, Marin will play their matches on Fridays at 4:30 versus the East Bay Tri-Valley plays all their matches on Sundays at 4 p.m. And if you're interested in signing up a spring team, the team registration closes next Friday at noon, and we'll actually include that link in the recap too. And if you look at the 2026 JTT calendar, we have an 18U co-ed event that's happening next weekend that qualifies for the Impact Junior Nationals. And then we have our spring travel league season, which I already told you advances to a sectionals. But something different this year is we have our 12U, 14U, and 18U girls champions from that sectionals will advance to a fun summer event called our Summer Jamboree, which we have at St. Mary's every year. And then the remaining spots not filled by those sectional teams will be open for teams to sign up and play. We also have our fall travel league season, and then we have our local leagues, which I'll talk about a little bit later in this presentation. But local leagues can also sign up for the summer event as well. So for the travel league, we have 10 and under orange all the way up to 18U yellow ball, which is same gender. So basically all the divisions are gender neutral time formats except for 18U, which is an untimed format that is played on 3 courts. So we offer the 18U girls for the spring season because the boys are playing their high school season at that time. And then vice versa, the boys can play the JTT fall season, but the girls can't. And this is due to CIF rules. And if you are a high school coach and your girls are just not really playing as a team or playing tournaments, this spring season is a great opportunity to get them involved and play as a team. Okay, our travel league format. Everything is going to be 4 singles, 4 doubles. You could play a team match as a 2 or 3 court format. If you look at the chart on my left, you'll see that it's arranged in four rounds. So basically, you're going to be playing singles in order of strength, and doubles would be reverse order of strength for this 2 court format. And for this particular team match, you can see that everything is a 30-minute round. So 5 minutes a match play, or 5 minutes of warm-ups, and then 25 minutes a match play. And the beauty about this format is that players can play multiple matches. So a player can play a max of 3 individual matches. And total games won determines the winner of that team match. So every game counts. So a lot of you are maybe you might be a little clueless about how to start a team. So here are the steps. So one, you'll need a parent, coach, volunteer to finish safe play. And to get through safe play, you need to finish a 90-minute training, and then you need to clear a background check, which takes about 3 to 5 days to clear. After that's done, you can go ahead and register your team. You'll need a minimum of 4 players, and they'll also need a USTA account, which is free. And I have included a link to the player search. So basically, you can type in your player's name, and you can copy the 201 number that's in the URL, and you can register them by copying and pasting them into Tennis Link and registering them. And the registration fee will be $33 per player. You'll also need to get home courts for the season. So you could do that through Facilitron. You could do that through Parks and Rec. For a 2 court format, you'll need 2 courts for 2 hours, and bathrooms must be available on site. A lot of programs that participate in JTT will use these free player availability and team communication tools, such as Team Snap, Team Cowboy, WhatsApp, Google Sheets. We've seen some people invite parents to an active Google Sheet, and then they can put their player availability for their players during a given week. Okay, after team registration closes, we will flight teams by the average WTN team rating singles, and we will work on the scheduling for all areas. And then we'll all jump on a big webinar like this one, and we'll explain how it works. We'll go over etiquette, the formats, answer any questions you may have. You'll receive a schedule for the season. At that point, after the schedule is ready to go, you'll receive a captain contact sheet with all the safe play approved captains you can reach out to. You'll also get a digital captain badge. And no, Ben Sheldon is not part of the JTT program, but he's out of the Australian Open, so maybe he'll become a JTT captain. You never know. And we'll also give you a copy of the rules too. And then you'll confirm your location, the address, and if it's a 2 or 3 court format with the opposing team captain for that week's match. And then captains will, when it comes down to game day, your captains are going to show their digital badge and they're going to exchange their lineups. And then hosting teams will provide the balls and report scores. Finally, all match results in the stats and standings will be updated on Tennis Link. Tennis Link is where we run the league. Results will be seen on the USTA Player app, which you can see a screen grab on my right here. And green and yellow ball results will count towards a player's WTN rating, and then yellow ball will count towards not only just WTN, which we'll cover in a little bit, but also verified UTR ratings. So if you're a parent and you're trying to figure out how to get your player on a team, you've probably received an email from me at one point or another, but you will fill out the interested player form. Then you're going to receive a list of teams looking for players before the season begins, which I'll be sending out next week to everyone that's filled out the interested player form. And then you'll need to get permission from that captain on that list to join the team. We can't just place your kid on a team, they would need to get permission. And then if you are a new or referring captain, you will get an exclusive crew neck sweatshirt. It's really cool. It has Junior Team Tennis on the front and Team Captain on the back. The first 4 new JTT players will also play for free. We waive their $33 registration fee, and we will register them on our end. And then new captains will also need to complete the PCA double goal coach course just to promote positivity among your players and your parents throughout the season. All right, and we're going to talk about local leagues and WTN match play, and these are going to be a little bit more flexible than your travel league. So our local leagues are offered year round, so you could run one during the winter, you can run it during the spring, the summer, the fall season. And you could use 1 or 2 central locations. Like for example, this program on my right is Diamond Hills. They played all their matches at Diamond Hills and they had a great time. And you need one program coordinator to enter all the scores. You need at least 12 players to form a league. So what happens is when you have those 12 players, what a lot of local league programmers do is they have a practice or a tryout, like a quote tryout, and they gauge the player levels and then they waterfall the players onto 4 unique teams so that the teams are balanced. And so Diamond Hills, they had a 3 singles, 3 doubles format. So basically there's 3 players on each team and they were able to form 4 teams and they all played at the same time on 4 courts. We also have a Fresno local league that participates during the summer, and they have 16 or more players, and they have 4 unique teams. So basically, the you'll have four players on team playing singles, so four singles, and then they'll combine to play doubles the following round, and that's a really popular format as well. But it's really up to the program coordinator to figure out what format they would like to use. Three singles, three doubles is probably just the easiest when you have 12 players, and then we provide medals, a case of balls, and a gift card for completing a season. All right. Real tennis number is what we use for it's our rating system for junior team tennis. And it is a rating scale from 1 to 40. So 1 being Ben Shelton level, and then 40 being an absolute beginner. And then there's also low, medium, and high confidence factors that are attached to that rating. So if you have only played maybe one match over the course of a year, then your WTN might be displaying a low confidence. But if you're playing tournaments regularly, then that rating could be medium or high confidence. And it's all, and we base the rating, we flight teams based on players' singles WTN, which tends to be more accurate, and we use them to group into flights not only for the season but also for our standalone JTT events as well. And like I said, you can search your player on the player search, but it will also show their WTN rating as well. And if you have any questions, you can send me an email at the email below. And you can also watch this video when I send the deck, you can check it out. Okay, another tool that programmers can also use is WTN Matchplay. So WTN Matchplay is set up through Serve Tennis, not Tennis Link, and you can set up single sessions or multiple sessions if you want. So basically, you just need two players to create a WTN Matchplay, and you can just have them play each other over and over again. Or say you have four players that sign up for one of these sessions, you can have them do singles and doubles or just do doubles and rotate the partners. It's really convenient because you can record the scores on your phone. And we also use it in conjunction with local leagues. So for example, the Diamond Hills group, they were a 14 and under yellow ball local league, but they also had players that were green ball. They just didn't have enough to meet the minimum to form a separate league for that green ball group. So what they did is they did WTN match play for the green ball kids, the four to six kids that were there, and they played alongside the local league to make it like it was an inclusive event, make them feel like it was part of a league, and they still got WTN credit by playing these matches. And high schools and colleges are also using WTN, and then junior tournaments will also use it to help group players into flights. Okay, a little bit of a comparison between local leagues and WTN match play. So there's a little bit more time commitment with a local league. So you could set it up as a single round robin where everyone plays each other. The four teams will play each other over a 3 week session, or you could do a double round robin, which would be 6 weeks. And team matches can be played in 2 to 4 hours. You can play everybody at once using four courts, or you could stagger it to two courts and then have two teams play that during that time slot, and then the other two teams playing in a later time slot. WTA match play set up for a session or a series. You need 12 players for local league, only two for WTA match play. The divisions that we offer for local leagues they mirror the travel league. So it's 10U orange all the way up to 18U yellow. And then for WTA match play, it's green and yellow ball only. The platform for local leagues is Tennis Link. For WTA match play, it's Serve Tennis. There's no mobile score entry for local leagues, so you will need an iPad or desktop. And then for WTA match play, like I said earlier, you can just enter the results on your phone. push publish, and then they will be included in the WTN results for that player's results for the following Wednesday when they play. The player fees for the local league, we only charge a $2 head tax plus the transaction fee for using Tennis Link, which is $5.15, and additional fees can be charged separately by the program coordinator. And then WTN Matchplay, you can charge whatever you would like for a session or a series. And then ranking points for each. So for local leagues, you are going to get the benefit of getting the Net Generation PlayTracker points to advance kids to the next ball color level. You'll get WTN credit for green, and then for in yellow, and then you'll get the verified UTR for yellow ball. And then for WTN Match Play, you're just getting those WTN ranking credit. All right, some common questions answered, and we get this a lot. So let's go ahead and go through this. Can I only have, and this pertains to the travel league, just FYI. Can I have only 4 players on a team? No, you can always add more players throughout the team or throughout the season as long as they're rostered before their first match. So if you have a player that is brand new that you recruit and they're not signed up on the team and they've already played a match, that would be recorded as default. So you want to make sure that they're rostered before they play. And 4 is just the minimum number of players you can have on a team to make it a viable team. But there's 4 singles and there's 4 doubles. So if you have a big team and you have 12 players and there's 12 positions in a team match, then that means that everyone gets to play 1 match. If you bring 6 players to a JTT team match, then everyone's going to get to play at least 2 matches. Can my player play on more than one team? Yes, they can, but you have to be in separate flights if you are, say, playing on 2 12U green teams. So if I register for a 12U green team and I'm playing, I would have to be on flight A, and then I'd have to be also on flight B, and I would have to choose one to play on for the postseason. Otherwise, you can play on a 12U green and a 14U yellow team, and you'd be able to play both the playoff and sectionals as well. My player ages out midseason. Can they still join a team? Yes, but they need to be of age when the league starts, and some exceptions apply based on level. We understand that it is an 8-week long season, and you could have a lot of players that say are 14 years old and they're aging out about a month into the season, they're turning 15, and they still want to play with their friends on a team. So we would have to look at the level and we might make exceptions based on that. But basically, for the most part, players need to be of age when the league starts. Okay, and we are going to play a quick video. This is taken from our spring sectionals last year with new and returning captains talking about their experience, and then we'll open it up for questions. Steven or myself are definitely going to give you a small prize.
What team are you on?
Hi, my name is Stephanie Smith-Suhu, and I'm the captain of the San Ramon Smash.
My name is Ogidiobi. I am the Assistant Director of Rackets at Alpine Hills.
My name is Wing Yan. I've been coaching junior team tennis for the past 12 years in San Francisco.
From a program standpoint, it makes so much sense in that it allows players to learn the ins and outs of competition together in a fun, interactive environment.
JTT has been an incredibly fun and positive experience for our whole team over the past 2 years. For our players, it's really given them the opportunity to compete consistently in an environment that feels a little lower stakes than individual tennis tournaments. During our team matches, I look around and I see them having so much fun together. They're laughing, they're smiling, they're cheering each other on. And even when one or two of them are having maybe a tough day on court, they're still lifted up by their teammates.
I think JTT is so important to me and my players. It's just the sense of community that it brings, because tennis can be a really lonely sport when you're playing like in tournaments. It's just you and your parents. But with JTT, you get to play with your friends, and it's something that you don't get to do until you get to high school. So JTT, the team aspect of it, is something that they're able to do at a younger age, hang out with friends, play tennis with their friends, and it's just a fun time for all of them. They just enjoy each other's company. And that's why like JTT has been so meaningful to my players, to me, and why I still do it 12 years later.
All right. Well, we're going to open it up for questions. So Beth will help me with them too.
Yep. Okay. I answered a few questions in the Q&A, and I can kind of go over some of the other ones, but I'll read some off to you, Trey. So one is and this was in please put it in the Q&A. The webinar chat would only go to us, but if most of the kids are 13 years old, can a 10-year-old still play on the same team?
Okay, let's see.
So yes,
Yeah.
a 10-year-old could play if they if they are PlayTracker eligible, like you mentioned earlier, if they've gone through the PlayTracker. Once they turn 11, the PlayTracker they don't have to fulfill those requirements. But yes, a 10-year-old that has fulfilled Net Generation PlayTracker requirements can play with 13-year-olds. I will get to another one, Trey. So someone asked, what is a flight?
Yes. So a flight is a group of teams. So in order for us to form a division, we need at least three teams. So a flight or division could be the same thing. So say that there's like three. Trying to give a good example here. So basically, it's just if there's three teams that sign up, that's its own flight. That's probably the easiest way of just understanding that.
Yep. And sometimes if he has 8 teams, he might make 2 flights out of those 8. So 4 in one, 4 in another. So it just depends on how it gets divvied out. So it's just the group of teams that are playing each other for a season.
Correct. Yeah. So based on who signs up, then we look at the numbers and say there's 24 teams that have signed up for 14 and under yellow ball. Then we would split it evenly among those 4 flights. So it'd be 6, 6, 6, 6, 6.
Okay, the next one, Trey. Do the age groupings include that age? For example, does 10U include kids who are currently 10 years old?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, if they're age eligible, you can play up, you just can't play down in regards to age. That would be the only thing I'd say.
Yeah, we do. I will add, we do make a couple age exceptions. So if there is an 11-year-old that is that signs up that wants to be part of a 10U green team, we would have to look at the results and see where they're at, and we might make an exception based on the results.
Next question. Is there any league teams in Solano County?
There are no league teams in Solano County unless you would like to create one.
In that local league or travel options, you can reach out to Trey, and if you have a minimum number of players, like you said, you can definitely create one and get it going in Solano County.
Yeah, and if you know a pro that that has 12 players in the Solano County, then they could do a local league, and then your player would be able to join that local league too.
Next question. A coach told us about the Diablo JTT area, but that wasn't listed as one of the ones on your earlier slide. Is that another area for 2026?
No. So the Diablo area is part of the East Bay Tri-Valley League. So geographically, we go as far east as Livermore and then as far north as the Berkeley Richmond area.
So Diablo is East Bay,
And
basically.
Diablo, yeah, and then
It's
you
there.
have yeah, exactly. You have a lot of Danville, San Ramon, um, Blackhawk teams in that area that will play in the East Bay Tri-Valley League.
Next question. Does the lineup have to be ordered by strength? And they put UTR in parentheses. How do you determine the lineup for doubles?
Yes. So I would recommend having a team practice at just to gauge level. And for a two-court format, three court's a little bit different, but for two court, you're gonna play, it's really a coach honor system or captain honor system. So you're really gonna look at your players based on the practice and determine, okay, this is my number one singles, this is my number two, my number three, and so forth. And you'll figure out the doubles pairings as well. Normally, the three and four singles players, since it's reverse order of strength for doubles, they would tend to play in that first round, and then you'd have your stronger players towards the bottom, in that last round. So normally your one and two singles will pair up to play doubles, but it could be different for every team.
Right. And just to add to that, yeah, singles top down. So that usually will automatically help you kind of figure out your doubles because they're playing at the same time. And typically, sometimes they might use WTN, which is the world tennis number that Trey mentioned, for that. Or again, like you said, at a practice, you might see that your certain players are stronger than others outside of the numbers. So that could, again, like you said, a captain honor system.
Mhm.
Next question. My son is 7.5 and he is playing with orange ball. Where do you start? How do you find the local league?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the level of the orange ball player. So if they don't know how to serve, rally, and keep score, I would recommend lessons and even do team challenges. There's actually, I can also share a link afterwards, but there's a Smug Mug which has all the team challenges, junior circuits for orange ball. So if your player feels comfortable doing team challenges and is really excelling in team challenges, then I'd recommend making the jump from that to junior team tennis.
There's also a link, I believe, Trey, you linked it where it said interested player form. So if you fill out that form, and Trey, after this slide, has his contact information. If you reach out to get that form, or you'll get the slide deck after, you can, and if your son is ready to go and can serve, score, and rally, then you can get added to this list to where you'll get a list of teams that are open to players once the teams are signed up. So we can help you out in that way. That's more of a travel league. And then if there are local leagues in your area of captains that start their own thing, we can connect you with that too. But you can definitely reach out after this call. Next question. My kids 10 and 13 have been taking lessons since they were 7. However, never tried league or team. Can they still join the team?
Yes, they can still join a team. And like Beth said, there's the interested player form. Maybe you've already filled it out, but when that team's looking for players list becomes available, you can reach out to these captains and see if it's going to be a good fit or not for your 10 and your 13-year-old. And they might have a 10 and under, that particular captain might have a 10 and under orange team and a 14 and under yellow ball team. And if that's the case, then both your kids can play, which would be great. But that team's looking for players list is organized by division. So you'll be able to see, oh, this captain runs a 10U orange and a 14U yellow league, which is the case for a lot of programs. And you can reach out and see if it's going to be a good fit or not.
And even if you haven't played before, you can definitely play if your child is able to serve, score, and rally. So it's definitely one of the things we want people to start with because it's a team atmosphere and they get some competition with team camaraderie. So as a parent, to have my child join a JTT team, I just have to wait until you send out the team list next week, and then I am responsible to reach out to captains to request to join their team. Is that all I have to do?
Yep, that's it. And then I would also get a free USTA account if you haven't done so already. That just makes the process a little bit easier. So when the coach says it's okay to join, you have the USTA account number and you can just automatically register them.
Okay. Is there any local league in the South Bay and the Bay Area, South Bay area?
There's no, well, actually there might be one out of Alpine Hills, but that's TBD at the moment.
So that's for local league, which I know the naming is more of if it's an in a one venue type of place where the players are playing in within their own program. But there's plenty of travel teams that are usually in the South Bay, so that would probably be where we have the most amount of teams.
Yeah, they're right now. Well, we officially launched the local leagues last year, so that's just catching on, and it's great. But yeah, there's the distinction between the travel league and the local league, and there's a lot more travel league teams, which is mainly what we're focusing on on this call. But I mean, if somebody wants to take the lead, it could be a parent, it could be a coach, anybody to be that program coordinator. I would work with them. You would just need 12 kids. And then it's still a fun season. The kids really develop. We give you a case of balls, medals, everything you need to run that league.
Yeah, so you can run your own thing or be a part of the travel league. And I would encourage anyone to reach out to Trey and to find out the options because we've had some really successful parents that have run teams like the video had. So that's kind of one of our best types of teams. But next question, do teams have extra players just in case some can't play that week? And what happens if they are short of players for that match?
Yeah, that's a good question. So what happens is if you are well, actually, I'll answer the first part of the question. So we recommend 6 to 8 players on a team roster throughout the season because we understand that, it's an 8 week long season. There's a lot of matches, and your player might not be available for a certain week because they might be on vacation, they might be on spring break, tournaments, all that. So yeah, 6 to 8 is ideal, and you can still play a JTT match with 3 players, but you're going to have to default from the bottom up like you would in adult leagues. You would have to default your number 4 singles and then your number 4 doubles, and then you would just play the rest in order.
And then the second part was what happens if you're short players for that match. So that was that question too.
Uh,
So we encourage people to have the 4. That's the minimum that he mentioned for signups for the actual teams being eligible to be a part of the league. And then, like Trey said, you want more than you can sign people up throughout the season. So you want more just in case anything happens. So next question, are certificates of insurance for home courts still available through the USTA NorCal office at no extra charge?
Yes, they are. So if you are running a team match and you need one, and you need to get it. Well, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. So if you are renting courts through Facilitron or Parks and Rec, they tend to require a certificate of insurance that we offer for free. Otherwise, you won't be able to get access to those courts to play a JTT match. So yes, we do offer it, and it's free.
Next question. Do travel team only travel within NorCal or all over California?
Yeah, so they're just if you are signing up for a South Bay Peninsula Travel League, you're only gonna play matches in that region. It's not throughout Northern California.
Right. So, but the whole league that we do it is NorCal. It's not all over California, as in like SoCal and things like that. And then if we have a sectionals event, you go from your travel league where it's a specific area like South Bay, and you'll come play sectionals, which means you play teams from other areas in Northern California. So it's specific to just NorCal in general.
Yeah.
Next question. The NorCal JTT page shows 2025 info, and the info for each of the areas also looks like for 2025. Will those be updated before the next week to confirm match days, times each week?
Yes. So I think you might be on the old version of the website, but the new USTA NorCal page has all the correct 2026 information. And I'll share that link too at the very end.
But thanks for that call out. We'll probably have to keep those both updated, so you'll see it in both places. But can I
But
enter? Oh, are you
I'm
ready for
sorry.
one, Trey?
Let me elaborate too. And then there's also a Sacramento portion of that, right?
Um, right. Yeah. So yeah, you ready for them?
Yeah.
It didn't mention,
Go,
but
go.
can I enter my practice matches as WTN Matchplay to establish order of strength?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can do that.
Great tool to use, and it goes into WTN.
Yeah.
How to resolve a dispute over a point during league match?
Yes. So there is going to be a new rule that is going to be introduced very soon. It just got passed, but both captains will act as line judges when requested by a player, and they can only overrule when they're asked upon. So normally, when both captains are on court as line judge, usually those line issues can mostly resolve themselves. But by having those captains up there, it prevents potential cheating.
Do JTT teams have practices during the week too?
Yes, there's a lot of programs that will have separate practices during the week, or say that the team matches are on Sunday, then they might have their practice on or they might, sorry, if they have their team matches on Sunday, they might have their team practices on Saturday. It really just depends on the program and when the players are available.
Can my 10-year-old son have his coach approve him to play yellow ball?
Sorry, say that one more time, Beth.
Can my 10-year-old son have his coach approve him to play yellow ball?
Yes. So that was one of the first things we mentioned in the presentation. So if you are 10, you have to go through the Net Generation Play Tracker. So you need to earn enough Net Generation Play Tracker points at the green ball level to advance to yellow ball. There's no early advancement like there is for 7 and 8-year-olds to get from orange to green early.
Yeah, so only orange ball. So yellow ball, they cannot bypass as a 10-year-old. My 7-year-old is not great at serving. What can he do?
I would recommend lessons, clinics, and then once your player feels comfortable doing that, then I would go the team challenge route. And then when your player is fully confident and can do all the above, then they can sign up for junior team tennis.
In that case, though, Trey, can he serve underhand? That is an option.
It is an option.
Got
It is legal. It is a legal serve.
Next question. How soon will we receive the schedule, and what happens if we can't secure the facility for the required time frame because it's very busy?
Yes. So the team registration form, there's a scheduling request section. So if you know that you can't host during a certain week, so say that your safely approved captain is not available, you can just let me know, hey, March 26th, we're going to be out of town. So try not to schedule me any matches at home for that week. We'll do our best to accommodate those requests. But normally we split it so where you're not having to host all the matches. So the responsibilities are split among the programs. So you may only have to host about 50% of the matches. But in that scheduling request section, you can also say, I want more away matches or home matches, and mention the dates where you're not available, and we'll do our best to schedule around that.
So Trey, as a follow-up, just to clarify, if someone is filling out the form, they should wait until they get the schedule and then they follow up with the facility based on your home matches.
Correct. Yeah, once that schedule is out, it's final, and then they'll go to the Parks and Rec or whoever else and just show them the schedule, and then get the reservations for those dates.
Got it. Next question. If a player must retire during a match, how should the score be posted? Is it based on score at retirement or 6-0?
It's the score at retirement. And
So,
then
yeah.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, so 3-0, it would be the actual retirement score, like you said.
Right. And the player who didn't retire would get the remaining games.
Okay, so I have something else that said, will it be possible to set a time for one-to-one call? I am new to this and it's hard to get all questions answered. Part one.
Yes, we can set some time.
While I'll read the next one, Trey, but maybe you can go to your next slide because I think you had your contact info on that next slide. I'm gonna click that.
Yeah.
So definitely take Trey's information here. Question, how do I see the same person? How do I see the schedule for Sacramento League on website? I can only see 2025, so that was answered earlier. He'll send out the updated link with the newer website that has the updated information after this call. One question, my daughter is 8 years old. She would like to play green ball JTT, but she hasn't gotten 10 tournaments played in order to be eligible to play green ball. You mentioned that coach can advance her up based on evaluation. How do I find coach that is close to me?
Yeah. So yeah, like Beth mentioned, you could do so a PTR or RSPA Pro can do an evaluation through the Net Generation app to bring your daughter up to the green ball level. And then once that evaluation happens, it's instantaneous. It'll show on the UST player profile that they're at the green ball level. And then in terms of looking for coaches, there is a link on the slide deck where you can search for Net Generation PlayTracker coaches and then reach out to them, and they need to be Safe Play approved too, just so they're vetted and that they've gone through the training and the background check. But you can reach out to them and see if it's going to be a good fit for your daughter. And then in terms of the Sacramento League, that's a very, very small league, and we might only have 18U girls playing. But if your pro wants to get involved, they can reach out to me, and I can help them out.
Um, yeah, the net generation, it could shift over to USTA coaching, but it would probably be rerouted. So we'll send the information. Trey can send the information afterwards, but that just might look a little different. So next question was, is there a JTT summer league, not just fall and spring?
Yeah, so we've tried a summer league in the past. We've done it 3 times, and the issue that we consistently run into is that players are always gone due to vacations. And normally, once early June hits, we lose a ton of kids. So basically, based on that track record and players not being available, it leads to defaults. And as the program manager, you schedule 7 to 8 matches, and then you only get teams to play 1 or 2 matches at the very end of the season. So it just became something that was just not quite working. And we transitioned to a summer jamboree one-off standalone event instead. And that's always a lot of fun. And teams can sign up and play and get a whole bunch of team matches, even more than they were getting during the JTT Summer League.
And just as a note to what Trey mentioned about the Sacramento League, or if you have another parent that you know and you know you can get 4 players, and maybe you can create 3 teams. Like it's a simple way as parents to be able to create your own league, whether it's a local league and it's a little bit more flexible, or a part of our travel league where you need to make sure it's within certain requirements and you'd be eligible to have a league or flight that could make it to sectionals, which is a really fun end of season event if you make it out of your season play. So just a call out for reach out to Trey, and it might be simpler than you think. As if you have courts and a few players, as a parent, you can definitely be a captain. Um, Next question. What do you mean the other player gets the remaining games? So if a player is up 3-0 and retires, that player would lose 6-3, correct? No, so it wouldn't be six.
Or no,
It
no.
would it would
Go
it would
ahead.
be 3-0 as it retires because that's the score when a match in any kind of retirement. It's recorded as where it stopped. So it wouldn't be that you would automatically get games because that also can affect your rating. So the scores, depending on the rating system, the score determines that can determine things. So, but either way, whenever you retire for any match and a match has started, it gets recorded as that score. And I think Trey, unless you wanted to go over something on this last slide to give people any couple of 1 more minute or so, if you have any other questions, really great questions. And we can definitely send out all this information afterwards, but I think we got everything.
All right. Well, I'll wrap this up. So you can give me a call, and my number's here. You can email me, TASTBRY, like Tastbury, at norcal.usta.com. If you need any kind of membership or tech support, you can call customer care. It's 800-990-8782. That's the easiest way of getting your player a free junior UST membership. And with that said, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you out on the court soon. Thank you.